don't know why I keep doing this. I keep saying I'm not gonna do it, and then I do it. Okay. And the button is orange and it's telling me it's muted, and I just go directly into what I'm talking about. Okay, my apologies. Okay, so I said put together a great show. There's a lot happening, a lot of movement in the portal. CU has a few players in the portal. Travis Hunter has made some statements. The Giants want to double back to meet with Shedeur, and then Coach Prime basically had a response to the Nico um, landing in Colorado scenario. So we're going to talk about that. So we're going to dive right into Shedeur Sanders discussing why on earth at the last 11th hour do the New York Giants want to meet with Shedeur Sanders for a private workout, not at their facility in Boulder. This has a lot of people perplexed. Um, it has a lot of people asking what's really going on because they realize that Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston were both recently signed and they already have a QB, last name DeVito. So that's three QBs. It was questioned whether or not they would take a quarterback in the draft. And honestly, wanting to get the last word in with Shedeur Sanders says that they're considering it. Now, of all players, I don't know why they're considering Shedeur with all of the negativity that came from that camp towards Shedeur. It was pointed out that the unwarranted and unjust negativity about Shedeur's confidence, seemingly trying to tear him down, started and originated right there with the Giants. It's also said that there are some people in the Giants organization that want to draft Shedeur, and then there are some people that are not sold on Shedeur. So it sounds like the organization is split. With that being the case, that is not the place for Shedeur to go to. Shedeur has nothing to prove. He should just be able to go out here and play as QB1 on any NFL team out here. Not going to solve internal politics with an organization that seemingly can't get it together. So I, for one, don't like the Giants in this last minute pull, knowing that he's meeting with the Vegas Raiders, who have the number 6 pick, 3 picks after the Giants. But I told y'all, I don't know why people don't discuss the scenario of trading up. So yesterday it was discussed that there is expected to be 2 trades to take place in the first round. The question is, will the 2 trades be Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson? And then I would be right when I told y'all they was playing in Russell Wilson's face. Or is it going to be Jameis Winston and possibly Will Levis from Tennessee? Now, Tennessee at the 11th hour does not seem to be 100% sold on drafting Cam Ward. I do not know why. This young man is polished. He's one of the best QBs in the draft. He also has nothing to prove and is ready to play on day one. But Tennessee feels like they have too many holes to fill, and quarterback would not solve their problems. So I don't know why trading Will Levis would solve their problems. I'm thinking these 2 trades are coming from the Giants, and Russ and Jameis were mere currency to get more picks in the first round. All right, so what do y'all think about Shedeur Sanders having to perform a last-minute private workout with the New York Giants? Let me know your thoughts. That's what I would like to know. On TJ McCoy, what happened? He just left. See, this is the thing. Okay, so while y'all ponder over the Giants and what's going on with the Giants, and we might come back to it or we might not. We have a player in the portal. We're going to talk about it, Taj McCoy. And I think it's high time that we stop asking what happened when somebody enters the portal. This is a business. And it's obvious to me that the athletes see it as a business, but the universities do not. Because when you're conducting business and a player wants to leave, you don't try to defame them or stop their success at another university. Okay, it's cool if you had a clause that says you can't go to any SEC schools. But it's not cool to put out a defamatory statement that makes that player seem difficult so that no one would draft them. Because that's essentially you making phone calls and colluding against a student athlete who wants to depart from your university because they don't feel valued. And if you clearly didn't pay them enough to value them, even their market value of $3.1 million, the last thing you should be doing as a university who is entrusted to guide students is make defamatory comments about student athletes when they want to say goodbye and pursue their own path. That is a part of the game that we're playing. That is a part of the business of college football. The fact that this is not happening at every university everywhere is because some universities know how to conduct business and understands that when an athlete wants to leave, there's nothing you can do but say thank you for the opportunity to work with you. But some universities don't want to see these students as human beings who have choices. Instead, they want to clamp down, put their foot on their necks, defame the character so that they have nowhere to go. Now, that's not right. So we need to stop asking when someone hops into the portal from Colorado, what happened? Maybe nothing. Maybe they found out that they're worth more somewhere else. And if they don't get it somewhere else, well, maybe football isn't for them. Maybe they just want to test the waters. Because I don't know if there's a rule. If you hop in the portal, you can't go back. I think you can. Jeremiah Brown did it. He hopped in the portal, and then he went right back to CU. There's one headline out there not 2 hours ago. Could Nico Iamaleava go back to Tennessee? The answer was anything's possible. Yes, it could, because if there's a lawsuit over defamation from Nico's family to Tennessee because they're trying to destroy his character by saying he was a holdout when in fact he either notified them ahead of time or he missed practice. A holdout has to be defined. And for you to put that out there on the airways when he came to you first, you put that out there on April the 12th. He told you on April the 11th, and you still put that out there, making him look difficult. And now you have schools that he's crystal balled to, or 9 schools that were interested in him, that if he just hopped into the portal without defamatory comments, he will be gone. And if that's weighing down over Tennessee, then yeah, they might have to take him back. See, the problem is most of these schools seem to know how to conduct business. Some schools are out here inflating the price of QB1s. Miami. So yeah, maybe Taj McCoy just hopped into the portal because he know the money is out there. As of right now, Tennessee is supposedly talking to Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson because they need a QB. They've had 2 QBs in the portal recently. The media didn't talk about that. Why they have 2 QBs in the portal? They only have 2 on scholarship, so they got to scramble and find some more. They can't get an SEC QB. So guess what? They in the Big 12 hunting. And they're not just hunting for QBs. So when people at Kansas State saying things like, oh, I'm sure Avery Johnson is loyal to Kansas State, I'm like, again, this is a business. This is about money. It's always been about money for the schools, for the coaches. So don't penalize the students when it's about money for them. They're putting their bodies on the line. The NFL is not the only league where players are putting their bodies on the line. College football is one of them. And to play 17 games with no compensation other than a mere gift basket is not the way forward when schools are raking in triple-digit revenue, triple-digit millions of revenue. So to me, Shedeur has nothing to prove with the Giants. He canceled the workout I heard with Tennessee. I don't know why he couldn't cancel this one. I don't know what's going on with it. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. I heard it might be Thursday. Taj McCoy likely hopped in the portal, just like some of the others, to test the waters and see what his worth is. And looking at the portal, he might get picked up. 3 stars or more, he's going to get picked up. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow. It might be 24 hours after the portal. People keep saying the portal doesn't open till Wednesday. They're in the portal listed as entered. You don't have to wait till Wednesday to enter yourself. Nico's in the portal. Sam Hart's in the portal. Isaiah Augustave is in the portal. So on Wednesday, we'll see. There's a 10-day window. You can enter the portal before it opens. So things have changed. When people leave schools, it's not a big deal. They could be seeking more money, more playing time, or, just maybe more opportunity in a different scholarship program. Maybe I want a different degree. Maybe I want to study this and they don't have it at CU. Gone are the days that something has had to have happened or you are not a good player. Hey, everybody. I would not do the Giants workout. They already seen Shedeur on Pro Day. Right. And that's the question that people are asking. Okay, so you saw all of his games. You have all of this film. You were at Pro Day. So why you got to have a separate workout for you? See, I don't like that. I don't really like that. Again, it's given. I'm trying to force you into something that I know you don't want. You said you want to go to an organization that's willing to change the culture and that's willing to change, that's willing to change the coaching and the culture to be a winning. If otherwise, don't draft me. I guess they took it personal. So now they seem to be trying to rub his nose into something after they tried to defame his character. That just seems to be the way when it comes to football. I don't know if this works like this in rugby, foot, and hockey and basketball, men's or women's. But it seems like with these football players, they wanted to destroy these young men to no ends of the earth until nobody else wants them. And that's not right. If Shedeur don't want to play for a losing organization, he has that right. Why can't he not have choices? You have choices in who you picking. You do so much investigation that you talking to the neighbors next door, neighbor down the street, dog walker about these players. But these players don't have choices. Shedeur has nothing to prove. If he can't cancel the Giants workout, go with it, and they might draft him against his wishes. And again, that's control, and I'm trying to force you into something because you said you didn't want it. Rather than, hey, we want to win, and we know you could help us get there. Like, the athletes know this is about business. The universities and these leagues and these teams seem to be stuck on something. I don't know. I mean, I do. It's giving the impression some of these people out here, you trying to play football and they still trying to hold your ancestors down. And they see you as your ancestors. So they're not going to let you make a decision. And if you decide to leave, I'm going to make your life hell. And I'm not going to let you leave with your reputation intact. And then if Shedeur, in his case, if I say I want to go to a winning organization or don't draft me, then a barrage of media negativity is going to seek to destroy his credibility as well as his character, which is really nothing intimidating. It's intimidation for everybody else looking, whether it's Shedeur or Nico. For everybody else looking, this is intimidation to drag them unmercilessly when they just want to do better. Says that you don't want to negotiate when you get here. Don't even try it because I'm going to do you like I did them. That's not right, bro. So let's get to Travis Hunter. So I read it today. I read it twice, and I looked at the sources that it came from to make sure it was credible. It was highly credible. Apparently, Travis Hunter has stated that he plans to quit football if he is not allowed to play both sides, offense and defense, throughout the entire game, like he did in college, CU, and Jackson State. If the team that drafts Travis Hunter does not allow him to play all offense or all defense snaps, he said he will quit football. Somebody else with choices. People hate NIL, but that's what NIL does for you. You get paid in college, I might not have to pay for you in the pros. Travis is a generational, multi-talented athlete. I think he already said he could play baseball. My philosophy is the NFL's loss is national, professional baseball's game. Coach Prime played baseball, didn't he? Travis could play baseball. He don't have to go to the NFL. I don't know how much Coach Prime made in the NFL, but if Travis has already made $6 million, maybe I go play baseball because guess what? They make more money. And nobody's out here trying to restrict me from doing anything. But in football, they seem to want to put their foot on your neck. Yeah, I know you played both sides of the ball in college, but we don't want you to do that here. Coach Prime said, why not? He's done it at a high level. Why wouldn't you at least consider it? And if it don't work out, cool. But to say no and not giving the opportunity, what's that really about? Him having choices? It says he has nothing to prove, especially with the Giants. I agree. They are playing games. And with these young players' minds, there's mental foolishness. Yeah. I see. How many times did y'all hear me say? I think the Giants are playing in Russell Wilson's face. When they drafted Russell Wilson, they knew all along they were going to draft another QB. So who you going to bench? You going to draft Shedeur Sanders and bench him because he said he want to go to a winning organization? You going to draft Russell and trade him because he spoke up against the league colluding against veteran QBs because of salaries? Or are you just going to play with Jameis Winston like he's a rag doll? And he ought to be happy with $8 million as if he's not a good QB. So I'm drafting you as currency. So it doesn't seem to be about winning. Again, because these black athletes, in particular QBs, pay attention to what's going on. Nico is a QB. Some people like, he's not black. I'm like, yeah, well, he's brown. They've gone to the point where they defaming his daddy in 9 sports stories. Y'all know how they try to tear down Coach Prime. Y'all know how they try to tear down anybody who has a father. I told y'all when Caleb Williams' father said, I don't want my son going to one of these organizations, which is really no different than what Shedeur said. They threatened to it's like they were going to blackball him if he didn't go to the league. He could have stayed at USC one more year. He'd already had $10 million NIL evaluation. Hell, he could have had 20. In my opinion, I posted on Threads, I wish Travis could go back to CU, play both sides of the ball and get the bag. Because believe me when I tell you Travis would get $10 million from somewhere. Whether it be endorsements and CU, he would get $10 million. Tell me if I'm wrong. No. So going to the league to get $10 million and forced to play corner when you want to play receiver or receiver and corner, and you're not drafted first. What the hell am I doing? I'm not the first draft pick, but I won the Heisman. I can't play both ways, even though I've shown at a high level that I can. I was actually developed by the best. I want to play wide receiver. I showed you this at CU Pro Day, and you keep talking to me about cornerback. Well, hell, I ain't got to do this. I have money, and I can take this $6 million and flip it into 12. Or better yet, I can go invest in a league like the UFL that's already out there and get equity. Because to me, that's what these guys need to do. Nico got a few mil. Travis got a few mil. Shedeur, all of them. Go out there, put your money together, invest in the UFL, get equity, ownership. Run your own league. That's what you need to do. Because this is ridiculous. So Tennessee decides, because I heard there was a mutual interest on both sides with Avery Johnson. I bet nobody tears his character down when he leaves K-State to go play for Tennessee. And if he leaves K-State to go play for Alabama next year, I bet nobody tears his character down. So this unfair of tearing down of one's character when it comes to these black QBs, college and in the NFL, these athletes, I think Travis is right. It makes Travis' position, it makes sense. It's the right thing to do. You see how they're disparaging Shedeur. You see what's going on with Nico. Hell, you want to live in Tennessee, so I know you know what's going on with Nico. You're like, damn, these guys are good. They tearing them down hell, and I can't even I won the Heisman. Travis pointed out, he didn't get the kind of money Carson Beck got all day long on Threads. People been trying to defend Carson Beck, who's injured, getting $4 million. They tried to point to the rankings of the QBs in the SEC by saying Nico was number 9. I said, well, guess what? Jalen Milroe was number 2. Did he get $4 million? Y'all said he was trash. And he's number 2 in the SEC. And where is he in the draft? Right. Okay. Y'all try to get Jackson Dart over 4.37 Jalen Milroe. Did he make $4 million in Alabama? Okay. Jalen Milroe was ranked higher than Carson Beck. I didn't hear anybody say Jalen Milroe got $4 million. And they try to justify why why Carson Beck can get $4 million even though he's injured. Oh, he won 2 championships. Okay, he's injured right now. So you gonna take that kind of risk? So why wouldn't you take it on anybody else? Quinn Ewers was in the middle of the pack, the QBs in the SEC, and he was offered $6 million. 6. And they don't want Nico to look at that and go, well, damn, I got Tennessee to 3rd place in the SEC. I should at least be paid $4 million because I'm not injured. And he will be right. But when he wants to leave after they don't value him, he gets his reputation torn down. When the New York Giants let go of the best running back in NFL, I don't think they know what they're doing. Oh, I totally agree. That's really one of the reasons I'm like, bro, I don't want Shedeur going to the Giants. These people are clearly incompetent. Clearly, they don't value winning. You value paying Daniel Jones and letting go Saquon Barkley. I even said when it came to next year, I wasn't even going against Saquon Barkley after watching him against Washington. So again, what is really going on with the Giants when it comes to Shedeur? Because it's just what Jerry pointed out. If you fumble Saquon Barkley and chose to keep Daniel Jones, why the hell are you trying to get Shedeur? Because it's not to win. It seems like a control. It seems like a control tactic. You didn't want to come here, so I'm going to keep playing in your face. I told you, it seems like they can't stop the influx of black quarterbacks. They don't like dual threat quarterbacks, even though they try to pretend that they do. I don't even know where the term came from, but that's what it is. So because I can't stop it, I'm going to make your life hell. So I can't stop Shedeur from being drafted to the NFL. So hell, let me draft him so I can bench him. Let me draft Russell Wilson after he was forced out of Pittsburgh. So when Pittsburgh wanted to meet with Shedeur, I was like, and why? Because you clearly have no decision-making power. You only have perceived power. And I'm not saying it's right that that's the position that Mike Tomlin is in, but that is the position that Mike Tomlin is in. So it's like a tug of war happening. The more and more black QBs rise to the top of college football, the more and more, look how they treated Coach Pryor when he got there. The more and more black college coaches that come along. There's absolutely no black men on the NCAA committee, that executive committee. We know football is a majority of black men, right? Okay. No representation at all. That seems to be why football is that one sport that they just keep the foot on their necks. Because they don't have anybody in the room to say, no, don't go about it that way. That's not right. Everyone, Lisa says she wants to see Shedeur go to the Saints. Oh, I totally agree. That's really where I want him to go. But now that the Giants have circled back, after Shedeur is having his meeting with the Vegas Raiders, which was supposed to be the last meeting until the Giants said, hold my beer to Vegas. Cam Jordan might be right, unfortunately. But I have heard that there is pressure in New Orleans to make a way for Shedeur Sanders. I'm hoping that's what happens. Then we'll be free of all this Giants mess. I'm fine to move on from Vegas because, in my opinion, they moved on first. They made their decisions. They made their choice. Then we'll be done with Tennessee. I think we're already done with Tennessee. So the question is, with the Saints having the 9th pick, there's a report of 2 trades taking place in the first round. The most obvious is Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston and Will Levis. That's from the Giants, and that's from 2 different teams. That's why I'm thinking it's the Giants. The Giants will get 2 additional picks. Maybe they pick Shedeur and trade him to Tennessee. Not Tennessee, New Orleans. Or is it possible that a dark horse could come in between the Saints and the Browns? And the Saints get the Browns' second pick. And they get the second pick. And then Shedeur goes second. Again, I don't know who will go first. Travis Nolan putting this statement out there. If they take it seriously, first of all, see, people have to take you seriously first. See, they knew Shedeur was serious when they said, if you don't want to change the culture or the coaching, don't draft me. They knew he was serious. And they say a hit dog will holler. They know that organization is just not right. Have made some very questionable and poor choices, and nobody wants to go there. There are people that don't want to go to Dallas because they're not trying to get to the Super Bowl. But there are people, see, what they do is just same thing they did to these QBs in college. They walk up to you, flashing millions, but then you unhappy because you know you out here busting your butt, and they laughing in the back because they know you ain't gonna never get nowhere because that's not the plan in the first place. But there are organizations that want to win. I know the Saints seemingly want to make this deal with Shedeur. I hope Cam Jordan is wrong. He said the Saints have never had a QB from the first round since Arch Manning. He's right. I don't like his comment, but he's right. I like people to be, well, historically that's the case, but things change. I would have preferred to hear that, but Cam Jordan's in the locker room. He knows what's going on. So regardless of what I prefer, that's still their reality though. And we said the Giants have never had a black starting QB, right? Uh, with Shedeur, Russ, and Jameis Winston, I mean, that's guaranteed to happen, right? And then people are pointing out, that's not going to happen. So again, why are we going through all this? Why are we going through all this? Is it that the Giants are trying to block the Raiders, or the Giants trying to block the Saints and Pittsburgh because they're 3 and everybody else is afterwards? Meaning maybe people try to secure their pick from them for future picks, and they're like, nope, nope, nope. I want this position, even though they might not draft him. They could just be playing with him because it seems to be what people seem to do around here. Hey Regina, how you doing? It says I see him playing basketball. Travis. Okay, I'm with that. I know he's a multi-talented, multi-sport athlete, and I know he can play baseball. I know he can play basketball, so it's possible. I like his position though. I'm proud of Travis because, to be honest with you, if you're not gonna be happy, then why do it? And I know people will be like, he want to get that money, but if he's not a first round athlete, if he's not the first round pick, he doesn't get the guaranteed money. So the only way to keep him in the league is to entice him with the first round pick. And that could be what his statement was about. Because Travis did say, I want to be the first round pick. So maybe they hear that and they're like, oh no, we're going to lose Travis altogether. And people don't want that. So maybe they're like, well, let's make Travis the first pick. And there's a list of 17 players who have confirmed their attendance in Green Bay, and Travis and Cam Ward are on the list. Shedeur is not. Ashton Genty's on the list. So they said 17 players confirmed. I'm like, that's all, but maybe that's the ones that they want to discuss. So we'll see Travis get drafted. We'll see his green room. We'll see Ashton Genty. We'll see Cam Ward. Shedeur, we'll see his. He'll be in Colorado. Something else came up. So Shedeur and Travis are having their jersey numbers retired, right? The question came up today, why wasn't Cordell Stewart's jersey retired? I'm like, well, Coach Prime wasn't there back then. So, that's on whoever the coach was at the time. But, maybe they'll work it in the ceremony where Cordell Stewart's jersey can be retired. Because during the Baylor game, there was a comparison to the Hail Mary, I think, with Cordell Stewart threw back in the 90s, I think, along with Shedeur Sanders in the current Baylor game that took place last season. So I'm sick of the games the NFL's playing. Right. That's why I'm like, if Travis is serious, this, like I said, this could be a ploy. If he is serious, I mean, I get it. I don't know if he's serious though. And the reason why I say that, this could just be a ploy to jockey for number one for that guaranteed money. You got to say something. I mean, honestly, if he didn't say it, he probably wouldn't get it. With Cam supposed to be being the first pick, hell, Shedeur could be the first pick. Abdul Carter could be the first pick. Travis could be the first pick. Somebody else. I heard again yesterday, Jackson Dart has snuck into the first round. I'm like, why does he have to sneak? Because if we have to use the word sneak, then this should be Jalen Milroe. They really want Manning kids, the Giants, playing games with these players until Manning comes available. See, Lisa, that's what I was thinking. So that's why the question is out there. What the hell is the Giants got going on? Why? That's why I'm saying, are they trying to just play in Shedeur face like they playing in Russell Wilson face? That's what it's giving. Because if not the Manning kid, they want Jackson Dart. Why else is he sneaking into the first round? And if he was good, he wouldn't be sneaking, right? Okay. It said Coach Prime said last year, Travis has another year eligibility in college. So if they don't let him play on both sides of the ball, trying to find a video. Question, Jackie. Okay, if you declare for the draft, the NFL draft, how long do you have to change your mind and go back to college? Can you ever go back to college? Do you lose your eligibility for playing NCAA football if you declare for the draft and change your mind before draft day? Somebody let me know. I think that's an interesting topic. Because if he can go back to college, maybe not to CU, maybe he can't go back to CU, or if he has eligibility, I don't see why he couldn't. Hey, Felisa, how you doing? Welcome. Giants are doing too much. Yes. I'm like, look, It's too close to the deadline. You're supposed to be working on your first round pick, which means you should know who your first round pick is. There are two teams, it is said, that they do not know who they drafted. That is Tennessee, and that is the Giants. And remember, Shedeur had that meeting with Tennessee, and he canceled it. So seemingly, since he canceled his meeting with Tennessee, the Giants like, well, let's see if you're gonna cancel with me. And that's what I mean by stop playing. Neither team wanted to draft him. Tennessee could have drafted him first. They didn't want to draft him. Why? Because everybody wanted him to stay out the first spot. The Giants, they just swore they wanted him to go to the Giants. Till the Giants, if you notice, how quiet did they get once Russell Wilson came in and Jameis Winston came in? It was no more talk of Shedeur. That's why today they're like, well, what the hell is going on? Because I thought you said you didn't want to get him because you got Russ and Jameis Winston. The media swore, well, we don't know why you drafted Russ and Jameis Winston. Neither one of them could be your QB1. So clearly you're going to get somebody else. They didn't think it was Shedeur. That's 3 black quarterbacks. Let's see if all 3 end up on the 53-man roster. I doubt it. Hey, Kiel, how you doing? How you doing? It is a good question. They need to honor the old bus. Yeah, they should. They should be, I think they should do Travis and Shedeur. And I believe that they should also have Cordell Stewart there. I think that that's only right. So, yeah, I agree with you, Felisa. Jerry said, this is clearly gamesmanship among NFL team days before the draft. Right. See, this is what I'm looking at. So the Giants already had issues. Oh, we don't know if we want to draft you because of Coach Prime. That was the first problem. Then they didn't like his attitude at the combine. So much so that the QB coach said something. Now, why the hell would Shedeur want to work with that person? Right. Then they got Russ and Jameis, and they was quiet on Shedeur. They might sell the pick or get Travis. That was what people were saying. They're going to get Travis. And I'm like, okay, now there's going to be 2 trades in the first round. I'm pretty sure it's the Giants. So that meant Russ and Jameis Winston were possibly mere currency, playing in the people's face. Like I said that. I said they playing in Russell Wilson's face. I knew it because they forced him out of Pittsburgh. He had no choice but to interview with Cleveland and the Giants, and the Cleveland didn't even make him an offer. And I knew the Giants was waiting on Aaron Rodgers, and they're like, we tired of waiting on him. Just like I felt like Shedeur's interview with Pittsburgh was also forced. I felt like they wanted Shedeur to interview with Pittsburgh, and they want to force Mike Tomlin to draft Shedeur so he could be QB2. How you gonna tell this man that he got to not only draft this young man, but he absolutely has to be QB2? See, that's what happened with Russell Wilson when he left Denver. He was supposed to be QB2, and Mike Tomlin said, well, Justin Fields is now QB2, and Russ is QB1. And ever since then, Mike Tomlin has only had perceived power. And now it's happening with Shedeur. And it's happening with Nico in college. Like, it's disgusting. It's taking the fun out of the sport because we just want to see good football, but we have to sit up here and wade through gamesmanship. Wade through teams doing too much that have absolutely nothing to do with football. It's killing the excitement. You think they would be happy to have a fan base from college with Shedeur going to the league? But y'all getting on our nerves because we just want to see the young man play. We don't want to see you play in his face. Just don't go to that team and you can go back and you declare after the draft the next year you did sign a contract. If you did sign a contract yet. Oh, so wait a minute. So, okay, if Travis gets drafted and he asked them point blank period, welcome to the Giants. Am I going to get to play on both sides of the ball? Well, no, that's not going to happen. What you're saying is, Kiel, he can go back to college. Could he play for Colorado? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I would love to see it. I would love to see it because I've been watching highlights of the new wide receiver, Sincere Brown. He is a mashup of Will Shepherd and Travis Hunter. What I mean by that is he's tall and lanky like Will with these beautiful passes, but he's physical. like Travis in tight coverage. I was like, this dude is really like both of these. He's two of our players in one. So to have him on one side and Travis on the other, that would just really make things very electric. We might actually get to the Natty, provided we get past them trying to cheat us, and that's another problem. So thank you, Kiel. And if he could go back to Colorado, that would be awesome. So that's good. He can go back. People on Threads were telling me he only had 72 hours. I was like, oh, well, that's too bad. But luckily he's a multi-sport athlete. So I was thinking baseball was going to get his talents, but we shall see. I'm not mad at Travis because, to be honest with you, that's what I would do. The way that they're treating people that are good people, people that have helped you to get on. Why would you want to insert yourself into that and they won't even give you what you want? They making his life a living hell because they don't want him to have what he wants. And then they just don't want to give you what you want. Then what the hell is the point? Especially when you already have money, which is why I told y'all they do not like athletes that have money because they can't control them. I think the fans of the Giants are making noise about Shedeur good. I just don't want Shedeur there. I don't. I'd rather Shedeur with the Jets than the Giants. It said, no, you don't, because you're not a pro. You have to sign a contract. No, you don't. Okay. Okay. It says, sorry, I don't have the answer. I did hear about a timeline. I will try and find out. Okay. And it says Travis is not going back. He's getting married and is ready to start his independent life. I don't know. Travis might have already been married for all we know, because he got engaged and didn't nobody know. He could actually be married, and we don't have a clue to that. Unless somebody do some digging, and I really don't care that much. So I don't know. I think he might do it. Because honestly, you see somebody being trashed who did nothing but be confident. You know this person. This person helped you get on. This person is this person is somewhat responsible for you getting the Heisman, because if you didn't know them, you would have never went to Jackson State or CU. So you know that they're not a bad person. You know what's happening is not right. Travis already said what they're doing to Shedeur was wrong. And now you want to play both sides and they won't let you do it. And they won't even relegate you to the high money position, which is wide receiver. They want to relegate you to corner. So I can't get what I want and you trashing him, then hell, I got money. I'm going to figure it out. I think his fiance, possibly wife, future wife, wants to be an agent. She might end up in law school. She already got a master's. She is smart. I'm not saying she's not book smart and intelligent. We just didn't like the way she was treating Travis. But if she got that together, then, that's how they go. Then we move on. But they might have plans to take that $6 million, or hell, now it's more than that, because Travis got a few more endorsements in the process of waiting for the draft. And once he executes those, if he could end up with $7 million, maybe $10 million, honestly, you could take $10 million and invest it and live comfortably and not be worried out here about having to go to work every day and being unhappy because you can't do what you want to do, simultaneously while you're watching people tear down people that you know are good people. People talk about, oh, Travis is the Heisman. Travis pointed it out. He did not make that kind of money that they gave back. And I wonder, had he asked for it? Not that if he was at CU or somewhere else. Maybe if Travis was playing quarterback, because he could play that role too. If he played quarterback at Tennessee and saw where Beck was getting $4 million, and he asked for $4 million, or at least his value, market value, which is $3.1 million, would they have treated him the same way? Possibly, because see, what you don't understand, or some people do understand, punishing Nico, because that's what's happening, is not about Nico. It's about everybody out there who see what's going on with Nico, so you can learn from it. It's called intimidation. I'm going to make sure nobody else comes to us to try to renegotiate. There's nothing wrong with renegotiating. All Tennessee had to do was say no. And then when he hopped in the portal, they just go find somebody else. But no, we want to put out defamatory statements. We want to put out statements that don't show that he's been trying to negotiate with us, and either we ghosted him, or we didn't answer him, or we said no and he decided to leave. None of which is problematic. That's how business works. So see, the students finally got the money, and the students understand it's a business, but the schools don't want to acknowledge it. and they want to put their foot on somebody's neck because they want to renegotiate because Carson Beck can get $4 million, Darian Mensah get $8 million, and Quinn Ewers get $6 million offered just to stay. Nico did not set the price. The price is out there. The problem that I'm starting to see is it's okay for the school to go and chase down Carson Beck and give him $4 million. But I'd be damned if Nico gonna want to renegotiate for the same amount, even though he's third in the SEC. And Carson Beck got $4 million while he was injured. Nico's not injured. Now that's a different scenario. That's a different problem right there. That's a different problem. When you're dealing with a monster like that it's okay for me to pay Carson Beck $4 million, even though he's injured, and I'm gonna ruin your reputation if you even dare ask me for it. You're dealing with a different animal, and you're not gonna be able to deal with it on your own. You'll need to understand that. Okay. I told you a couple of weeks ago, this is Jerry, Russell and Winston would be trade on draft day. You did, and still believe that. Yeah, no, you're right. You said that. I know I said they were playing in Russell Wilson face, but no, you did say that. A couple of people actually said that. I think Ronnie said that Jameis Winston will be dealt away by the time the trade comes. You said both of them, and that's crazy. That's crazy to me. So what you're doing essentially is taking two QBs who could be QB1, and you're relegating them to QB2 by mishandling them this way. It gives the impression that they're not valued. So if they're not valued, I'm not going to seek $20 million. I'm not going to seek $10 million. So, Travis can still play college football because he had a year eligibility and he has decided. Okay, that's good. So maybe he comes back to see you. Because Coach Prime said he don't understand why Travis can't play on both sides of the ball. He said he's shown he can do it at a high level. He's built different than most. And I agree. Why not try it out? And if it doesn't work, then, maybe if he gets injured or something like that. So, I agree with you. Travis and her talked about going back to college several times on his podcast. Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think for Travis, it is disappointing the way it's going down. Listing him in the combine only as a wide receiver or a corner, only as a corner. It's like they're trying to relegate him to corner. This man shows up as a wide receiver to work out, and all they want to talk about is he going to be a cornerback. In other words, you don't want to see him. You don't want to see him for who he is. You want to relegate him to what you want him to be. Why would I want to sign up for that if I'm already wealthy? See, the thing about it is everybody wants to get to the NFL, right? Well, we all know only 1% is going to get there. And then how many of that 1% actually stay? So you have to figure out something else to do, which is why Jalen Hurts got his master's. Travis can go back to CU, get his degree, graduate, get a master's, start a business. I mean, why not? You're going to have to do it eventually. So why not just do it now? I was thinking earlier, is the NFL really going to still be the code? Y'all ask why some people hop in the portal. I do believe that some people use the connections they made at places like CU. If I go to the NFL, I'm probably not going to get the pension, which means I won't be there. I think it's 3 or 4 years. If I'm not there that long, because honestly, I told y'all by the time 25, 26 roll around, it's kind of coming up on the it. And it don't matter if you almost had a heart attack on the field. That's what they're going to do, even if you're still good. Because then you come into that pension territory. And then you have to start thinking about what's next. And it is true. People talk about these guys play football all their lives. There's something else you can do. Hell, maybe go be a gamer. We know Travis is a gamer. He can make money being a gamer. A lot of people do it. There are so many more avenues. Football is not the only way to get wealthy. And it seems like it's the way to get wealthy quickly, but at what cost to you? Look at how they're treated, which were treating Shedeur before people stepped in and started calling them out. Look, Nico, in my opinion, is already being blackballed. He was crystal balled to UNC suddenly, and that ain't going to happen. Neither is every other school he was considered to have a landing spot for him. So let's talk about Coach Prime and what he said regarding the Nico situation. So it was reported that 9 schools were interested in Nico. This was not even 24 hours ago. CU and Syracuse were middle of the pack wild cards. Like it could happen, it might not happen. There were some schools that were sure, and then there was some that it was a long shot. And then CU was a wild card. CU and Syracuse. Syracuse coach said this. Now I don't know what people thought when he said it, but it's open for interpretation depending on how you look at the whole situation. Coach Fran Brown said the portal works both ways. Okay. He said, you can get in the portal or I can send you to the portal. So that had me asking, so why didn't Tennessee send him to the portal back in January when Nico wanted to renegotiate? They said they ghosted him. Let's say they said no. And he stayed. And on April 11th, he went to his OC and said, I'm hopping in the portal. Then there should be nothing else. We shouldn't be hearing they're moving on from him because Nico moved on from Tennessee. See, to put it out there like that is selling the story that Nico is difficult, that he did something wrong, because it's the message to all the other players that are out there that are seeing this. Renegotiating is not tolerated. That's how you put your foot on somebody else's neck. You make an example out of one person so everybody else could see it. That's what they did in slavery. They whipped one person in front of everybody else. They tortured one person in front of everybody else. That's what they're doing to Nico. So Fran Brown, when he said that, I don't know what people thought he meant, but I saw the side of it that says, yeah, and they could have said to Nico when he came to them in January saying he wants to renegotiate, we're not interested. And he could have hopped into the portal and went about his business. It said that the reason why they let it languish was because they were hoping that he would realize I don't have time to leave and learn a new system, so he would lose. See, that's calling somebody's bluff. And he answered with, I'm hopping in the portal, and he's in the portal. So why defame him? Why trash him? Why say you cut ties with him when he cut ties with you? Why try to trash this young man's character? You could ask the same questions about why they wanted to trash Shedeur's character. Because I have choices. I don't see Shedeur going with them. I hope Shedeur don't go with them. I hope Shedeur does not go with them. I definitely hope that. It says, I would like to know what position does Young Money play in these young athletes to sign with them? Nothing. Lil Wayne's reputation. He goes to the schools. He aligns himself with the schools. The guys see him. I'm sure they get invited to concerts, this, that, and the other, and he introduces them to their agent, and it's not him. So that's essentially using the name on the door to get you in, and I pass you off to other people. That's not what you want to do in this business. It's just not. If the people who are your agents came to you and you wanted to sign with them, and then you saw Lil Wayne, it was like, oh, hey, and they gave you tickets to Lil Wayne concert, but you signed with them because you trusted them, you trusted what they could do for you, then that's how it works. But for Wayne to go out and use his reputation to bring people in, and then they get passed off to somebody else, nope. I'm not with that. So let's see who get drafted. That you want to know? Let's see who get drafted. Said I wanted the same thing. The dude is traveling with Shedeur to a few places. What are you talking about? Oh, let me see. Somebody might have asked the question. Beck wasn't playing well before the injury and still got the bag. Right. And that's the whole point. And people are trying to say, oh, Nico is mid. I'm like, oh, now he's mid. I'm like, he took Tennessee to number 3. They made a record $242 million for the athletic department. And they wanted him to come back and play in the spring game and start next year. But now he's mid. See, that's how you know some impropriety has taken place. You could have, like Fran Brown said, you could have sent him to the portal if you didn't like him renegotiating with you. So that wasn't the answer. That wasn't the issue. The issue is he left and now he's mid. Now he's difficult. Now we're cutting ties with him. This is not true. Even if he missed practice and hopped in the portal, he still cut ties with you. You can't say he a no-show because he missed practice. You can't say he was coming back, or you can't say he was holding out, because holding out implies he was coming back. How do you know he was holding out if y'all haven't been already negotiating? If y'all were already negotiating, what was the outcome of the negotiation? See, that's the conversations they don't want to have, because that opens the door for impropriety for the University of Tennessee acting in bad faith. This kid reached out to you in January. You left him on red. Or even if you said, if you responded to his representation and said, we're not interested in negotiating, okay, cool. He has every right to leave. But it seems like because he chose to leave, they want to crucify him. But it's okay to leave. So they set in the precedence. It's okay for us to come to you and offer y'all money, but it's not okay for y'all to come to us and ask us for money. That's what they're doing. There's no structure, so they want to put their foot on students' necks and say, you saw what happened to Nico, right? So you know if you come negotiate with me, what's going to be the problem? And students are going to be afraid and intimidated to do it. That's mob tactics. That's abuse tactics. That's manipulation. And schools, universities should not be allowed to get away with that. You're supposed to be guiding these young men, not putting your foot on their necks because they want to leave because you don't value them. They have the right to seek options. Just like Shedeur Sanders has the right to want to go to a winning team. So, yeah, I don't see him going there either, and I hope that he does not. So that's where we are for the most part today. We have Travis coming out and actually making the statement that he does not want to play football. He will quit. That he will actually quit football if he will quit football. Let's see. He will quit football if he is not allowed to play on both sides of the ball. Am I mad with Travis? No, because Travis sees more than we see. I already don't like it from the position that I'm sitting in. And it looks like a pattern of behavior. And if I can't get what I want either, then what is the point? I mean, he already has money. He can grow his money. He can continue to make money. He can become a gamer. He plays the college football game on Twitch. He has a following. He has a brand. Travis has a brand. If Travis want to go back to college, he going to make $10 million plus. He might make 15. Between the endorsements he gets and money for, if let's just say if Coach Prime finds out that Travis, or any other school finds out that Travis doesn't want to play football, like this statement that's out here, and if he's drafted and he's like, nope, I don't want to play for them. It's been done before. And there was a guy, I think in his first NFL game, he quit before halftime. You got to go through a lot. You have to put up with a lot. And if you already have money, you can take that money and grow it in another way. So you don't have to sacrifice your soul to get it, because are you really going to be happy? Are you going to be healthy? So that's where it is. So y'all, we can keep the conversation going on Threads. You can let me know, your thoughts. It says on Nightcap, Shannon Sharp made a statement about a reference about Nico, that the college stated that they moved on from him. And they planned to stop. What happened? That they moved on from him, and these planned to stop watching what other players making. See, you see what I'm saying? See, that's what I mean. They're trying to set it up as, oh, I can go pay another player an exorbitant amount of money, but don't you come to me and ask me to renegotiate, even though you're better than that player, because I want to give the money who I want to give the money to. It reminds me of Mardi Gras in New Orleans. People talk about how it used to be. It's somewhat different, but it's slightly the same. Okay, so let me tell y'all a little bit about Mardi Gras. You got a route that comes through the city. And in any other city, New Orleans is a primarily Black city. When it comes to Mardi Gras, you see all kind of people out at the same time. But when it comes to parade routes, different people hang out at different places. You have like a grandstand where the bands get judged. The floats throw a lot to the grandstand because those are people that you want to show love to. But then there's certain areas of the city where the parades roll through. You might have a lot of white people here. You might have a lot of Black people here. And then you might have another patch of white people before you get to the final convention center or the dome, wherever. And it was always said in New Orleans, a lot of people didn't like this one particular parade because most of the people on the floats in these parades, back in the day, they've now been integrated. But before they were integrated, and I'm not talking about the 60s. I'm not even talking about the 80s or the 90s. I'm in the 2000s. These are private clubs. These people pay probably $3,500 a year to be a part of these crews. They have this big ball at the end. They get celebrities to be on the float. They buy these nice throws, these wares, and they pick and choose who they want to throw them to. And it's always said that you'll see a big group of black people, but then everybody got their hand out, but they will try to make sure they get it to a white person. So when I was looking at what was going on with Nico, I said, okay, so I see what's happening here because Miami's coach had the audacity to come out and say after the Nico situation, of all schools, Miami's coach said, yeah, if they want to hold out. Now, he didn't hold out. He said he was leaving, right? If he wants to hold out, then he might as well pack up. First of all, Miami started this price war by paying an injured Carson Beck $4 million. Did Jalen Milroe get $4 million? Because he's ranked higher if they want to lean on the rankings. Tennessee was number 3. So this young man was not far off of wanting $4 million. Why? Because he's not injured. He can fully play healthy. He actually had a good year last year. So he's right to want $4 million. And also, too, nobody's talking about it. I don't know why. It's public information. Duke paid their quarterback $4 million for a total of $8 million, which is the exact same as Jameis Winston's contract. So once again, I see Travis's point. Why would I come and play here when I can get this money playing on both sides of the ball in college? Basketball players staying in college because he's making more money in college than he would make in the NFL and the NBA draft. The problem with football is they want to pick and choose who to give the money to. If you want to lean on the QBR rankings for the SEC, then you owe Jalen Milroe some money because I know he didn't get $4 million. And y'all said he was trash. And he's the number 2 QB in the SEC. But y'all said he was trash. You want to give Carson Beck, who's injured, you want to give an injured player $4 million. That has never been done. So Duke said, cool, I see you. I'm going to raise it. I'm going to give my QB to keep him for 2 years so we can run it back. I'm going to give him $4 million each year, making Darian Mincer the highest paid QB in college football. And they want to tell Nico, don't look at what they get and focus on you. Oh, hell no. Because if I work at Wendy's and I make $10 an hour and I'm the cashier and you hire another cashier in 2 weeks and she don't ever come to work and she getting $20 an hour, we're going to have a problem. See, it's a business until they have to pay. And then when I have to pay, I'm going to choose who it is I pay. No. Nico's family should sue. If this young man languishes in the portal, they ganged up on him. They put out there that he held out when he didn't. He mispracticed. That ain't the same as holding out. And maybe he didn't mispractice. People are trying to figure out when it is that he notified his offensive coordinator. So they're going to need to go back and figure out when did Tennessee last respond to his request to renegotiate. We're going to need to see how that went too. This case could end up in court. Somebody could end up getting fired because it didn't have to ever be like this. When Nico came to Tennessee in January and asked for renegotiation, all they had to do was say no and send him to the portal. What did Coach Fran Brown say? You could either hop in the portal or I could send you there. The portal works both ways. They didn't do that. They didn't send him to the portal. They didn't send him to the portal this time. They wanted to put out a story. They could have easily said, you know what, he mispracticed. He wanted to renegotiate. He mispracticed. We declaring that he's going to the portal. They didn't do that. They wanted to put out this defamatory story that makes him look difficult so no other school will pick him up. And that's why you have Miami's coach of all coaches hopping on the train talking about a holdout when in fact that's not what it was. He could have damn near overslept. You got to do was send him to the portal. Prove that he held out. Prove that he held out. Because he came to you on 4/11 and said, I'm hopping in the portal. It wasn't until 4/12 that you decided to say to the world that he was a holdout, deeming him difficult. Tennessee played a part in this, and it looks like they played in bad faith. And it's going to get ugly. Because I doubt very seriously if his family allows them to just tarnish his reputation, and then that's it. No. This is a student athlete. All you had to do was say, we are not interested in negotiating, and we think it's best at this point that you hit the portal, or we're declaring that you are off the team so you can hop in the portal. If it works like that, why didn't they do it? If he was mid, why did they want him to start? Now they're trying to say he's mid. Now they're trying to say he's a poor character. That's defamation 101, because he told them on Friday, I'm hopping in the portal. Do anyone still think Shedeur may go to Cleveland? They are very quiet right now. All of this confusion is orchestrated. Yeah, it is. I think this is all about the ratings. It was said by somebody in the comments on Threads that Shedeur is the marketing plan for the NFL draft to get the best ratings they've ever had. That could be why the Giants are coming back, because it makes absolutely no sense. It could be why Cleveland is quiet. It could be why there's stories coming out that saying Tennessee don't know if they want to draft Cam Ward. I mean, you haven't talked about anybody else, so why would you even entertain anybody else at this point? And what were we told a few weeks ago? After the combine, or 2 weeks, I think a week after the combine, it was said, by now teams know who they're going to draft. Now, we know that things change at the last minute because of what happened with Jerry Rice's son. He went from going in the third round to dead last. I'm at work. Sorry for the mistype. Oh, you okay, Lisa? Thank you. Hey, Gracie, how you doing? So I agree with Travis. In particular, after seeing how Shedeur was treated and seeing how Nico was treated at Tennessee, with him wanting to exit and being damn near slandered. You can make the money in college. So you don't really need to go to the NFL. That's where we are right now with NIL. It has evolved to the point where the students can make millions of dollars more than a draft pick, right? The difference with Travis, if the NFL wants to woo him, is to ensure that he's the first pick. That way he gets guaranteed money. If it's not guaranteed money, then he might as well go back to school, because it's guaranteed. Pretty much. I mean, if you fulfill your obligations on your Pepsi ads, and it show up to practice and play, it's good. It's not based on performance. So, that's what it is. That's what it is. Hey, Aladdin, how you doing? So, Coach Prime said, so I told y'all what Fran Brown said. So, Coach Prime said, in response to the Nico situation, people thinking that Nico could land in Colorado. Oh my God, on Threads, they were having a fit. Stop putting Colorado in it. I'm like, calm down. And I wasn't me, but calm down. I'm like, y'all don't understand. Things change with the portal. We might need another QB. But what Coach Prime said was, we're good. God bless y'all. In other words, we have all the QBs we need. Is that true? I mean, maybe. I mean, honestly, the way people come and go, you can't be too comfortable. That's why when y'all ask me how I feel about Isaiah hopping in the portal, I'm all right with it, because I don't get attached. You can't get attached. This is, these students want to go to the NFL, right? It's like this in the NFL. It's volatile. I told y'all about Terry Crews' story, right? When he was playing for Washington back then, he thought he made the team, and they called him after his wife enrolled the kids in school, after he had been working out all this time, living off $600 a week or something, $200 a week or something crazy like that. And what happened? Bring your playbook in. See, there's no loyalty, but you're expected to be loyal. It's volatile as hell. I question if Xavier Weaver is going to make the 53-man roster next year, because he was out most of last year with an oblique injury. I hope and pray that he does. Derek McClendon, I think he's still on the practice squad. I'm sure at some point he would like to move up, right? So you don't have a whole lot of choices. And when you try to exercise some autonomy or choice or independence of thoughts, look how you get treated. So I would love to have Travis back in college. I think he can make probably $12 to $15 million if he comes back to CU for another year. And Travis, he doesn't get all of his money from one source. He's just going to continue to rack up deals. And if him and his wife work their stuff out, and she can be respectful. Maybe they could do like one of those reality shows, right? That's another source of income, right? So Travis has options. Shedeur has options. Let's hope Nico has options, because I would hate to see them collude against him after saying he was a holdout when he advised them that he was leaving, because that's not right. That's the type of behavior you don't want to flourish. That's intimidation and manipulation, and it's wrong. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for today, guys. We're going to get out of here. This was a great conversation. Y'all keep your notifications on, because I might pop up in the midday live stream. It's so much happening. Let's see how much traction Travis's story gets. He might get a lot of traction in terms of people saying, him making a statement that he don't want to play football if he don't get to play both sides. They might do him like they did Garrett. What's his name? What's the guy's name that played for Cleveland that wanted to go to another team and then they threw money at him? Him. They might do the same thing to Travis. Just make him the first round draft pick. Just make him the first round, first draft pick overall. He'll get that guaranteed $43 million and he'll change his mind. Let's see if it happens. And if so, that was a smooth ass move on Travis's part. Sometimes you got to play the people that's trying to play you. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to keep Shedeur in our prayers and hope he go to the Saints. And the Giants are just part of a marketing ploy to keep us guessing and get us to watch the draft. And we're going to watch it anyway. And we're going to keep Nico in our prayers and hope that what was meant to destroy him does not destroy him. Jeremiah 29:11. All right. Hey, Crowley, how you doing? Jerry Beck is afforded a privilege that our guys are not. Oh, yeah, they talking about, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you can't tell these athletes don't look at what Carson Beck or Quinn Ewers or Darian Mensah is getting. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. So we're going to keep these guys in our prayers. And I dropped a new audio podcast on Listen Up talking about the Nico situation. Go listen to it. It's only 9 minutes long. If you do a laundry or you're traveling or you just sitting down chilling and you like to listen to audio podcasts, it's on YouTube. Just come back to this page, click the playlist, and it's episode number 7. And it says Nico, his name. And the question I asked was, is the Tennessee Vows operating in bad faith when it comes to Nico? It's a valid question at this point. Okay, y'all, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on What She Said Sports. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome fam, it's Survive. Break it down, talking sports, hard hustle. Wear the crown, subscribe to the journey. Don't sleep on the grind. Hit the like button, come on, don't be blind. Hit that like, don't be stingy now. Join the movement, let's show them how. What she said, we bring the vibes, together we rose, reaching higher and higher. From hoops to the griddle, we cover it all. Champions rise and together we never fall. Join the fam, we celebrate every